lovelies, I'm back. This is a video I thought I would never have to make. I never expected that I would be enduring what I have endured the past couple of weeks. I've decided to come on and make a video and share my story. No, I haven't put on makeup. No, I haven't really done my hair. But this right here is what miscarriage does to you. And IVF, I suppose you could say. This is what IVF and miscarriage do to you. My hair, I literally washed it last night. It is so oily and it just doesn't sit straight. And due to all of the IVF treatments and 2 months of pregnancy hormones, my hair's really long, really ratty. It hasn't been cut. I haven't dyed it. I haven't done anything. I wash it and it's instantly oily. My face is a war zone, covered in pimples everywhere. My chest, you can see all of these dots everywhere, pimples. These are pregnancy hormones leaving your body. This is miscarriage. So I don't even know where to start. I haven't been on YouTube for that long. After my miscarriage, I decided that there were just some things that could not be told in its entirety on Instagram, which is where I'd moved to. And I'd love doing Instagram stories and my Instagram account. I just liked the trying to conceive community over there. There is just something here about YouTube where I get to fully express myself. And so that's why I've brought back the 1 in 6 channel, which is now called Nene Trying to Conceive. Let's get stuck into this. So we have been doing IVF for 3 months now. We did 1 month of egg collection and then 2 frozen embryo transfers. Our first frozen embryo transfer ended in a chemical miscarriage, a chemical pregnancy, I should say, more to the point, where we were pregnant, but the pregnancy wasn't detected via beta testing or ultrasound. So the baby just miscarried itself before our first blood test, which I was upset. I had so much strength and so much hope from that, knowing that there was a possibility that I could get pregnant and that I could get pregnant and carry full term. Little did I know, the next month we jumped straight into our second frozen embryo transfer, and this time we had to thaw 2 embryos. The first one was an ICSI embryo and it didn't make it to the thawing stage. There was actually nothing there once they had thawed the embryo. It was just the shell. The second one they thawed and it was very strong. It was hatching. It was perfect. They were really excited about it. So excited, in fact, that we actually jumped the queue for transfers that day. One of my Instagram friends actually goes to the same clinic and we had appointments one after the other. She was before me, but I ended up going in before her. I don't know if it was because, I don't know, my embryo was more ready than her too or what. We ended up going in first and I was a little bit uneasy about that at first. This isn't right. Why am I going in before them? Another thing that sort of caught me off guard this month was because of Easter and holidays and whatnot, we were transferring our embryo like 5 days later or something. It was considerably later than last month. And having the success of a chemical pregnancy last month, I didn't want a chance not falling pregnant because we transferred an embryo too late. Turns out that it was perfectly fine and not a problem. So that was another thing that sort of had me uneasy about this month. We had a positive pregnancy test. At about 7 days past, I think I tested 7 days past. Very faint line. And every day from there, it got darker, but it stayed consistently dark. It didn't really progress where the test line was getting darker than the constant line. It just stayed the same, and it really worried me. I thought, oh, look out, I'm having another chemical pregnancy. This was just staying the same. It turned out that I think because I drink so much water, I drink 2.2 litres to almost 4.4 litres a day, depending on how much I'm working or whatever, because I do drink a lot of water, that my urine is constantly diluted with water and is never going to give me a really solid line. So I'll put it down to that. First blood test came in and our beta levels were at 168, which was amazing. They wanted it to be over 100 at that stage and we were well and truly over it, so we were very confident. To the point where we actually went up to Toowoomba to see my husband's family that weekend. It was my father-in-law's 60th birthday and we announced it to the family that we were pregnant. We were that sure that this was going to be it. We had our second blood test on Monday and it actually blew us away. I still had doubts, as always, that this wasn't going to work. But then our beta levels came back on Monday at 534. So it had more than tripled over the weekend, which was amazing. They only wanted it to double. Perfect. Amazing. I was so happy and I was like, yes, this is finally it. We are pregnant. Then I had a week of pregnancy and that was it. But a week is all it takes. A week is all it takes to get excited, to organise your life, to do all the things you want to do. I never wanted a Christmas baby. I never wanted to have a baby born in December. And this little one was due December 27th. I was so excited. I couldn't believe it. We were finally pregnant. We were going to have this baby. It was going to happen. We were organised. We had all of our dates. We had all of our do's and don'ts. We had all the drugs that we needed to take. We had everything written down. I went home and made appointments with obstetricians to start seeing them. I don't need this sheet anymore, but I still hold on to it. Anyway, I need to get onto the story of the whole miscarriage. I never thought I would miscarry. Never, ever, ever. A week after our appointment, getting all of our information and everything, and we were so excited, I went to work on the Monday morning. Just a regular day at work. I was only an hour and a half into the shift, and I don't know if it was because I was stressed or what, but I was just run off my feet. Absolutely run off my feet. And as always, I hardly spend any time in my department. I'm always running around between other departments helping them out. I literally served 4 customers before I could actually get to the toilet. But I had known straight away by the feeling in my underwear that I had bled. And it wasn't just a spot. It was a huge gush of blood. Huge. Out of nowhere. Like, I had no cramps, no nothing. It was just this huge gush of bright red blood. I could just feel it. I just knew. You know, you can feel a difference between crinone residue coming out and blood. So I served the customers as quick as possible and ran straight to the bathroom. There was blood everywhere. It was horrible. There was literally blood everywhere. So I cleaned myself up and went straight to the office and said, I'm going home. I'm bleeding. I'm pretty much miscarrying right now. I was in hysterics. I assumed the worst, and rightly so. I assumed the worst. You know, I rang the fertility clinic straight away, and they organised a emergency appointment for me to come in the afternoon to do a scan to make sure everything was okay. They reassured me that everything could be fine. We just want to make sure. And then I rang my mum and I rang Josh and cried to everyone. Got home, did a bit of research and realised that this amount of bleeding was actually okay. The fact that there was no cramping, no nothing, no pain. It was just blood. Could have easily just been a blood vessel or something like that. So I calmed myself down. I was relaxed and happy and was like, okay, let's just go and sort this out. It's fine. So I went to the appointment, still nervous, still really sort of upset, but quietly confident. And we went in and there it was. Our baby. Our soon-to-be baby. Our baby that we will never see. We saw the sac and everything looked fine. Everything looked healthy. There was no sign of distress. There was nothing. Our future baby looked perfect. So we left with relief. I was on bed rest for the next 2 days, which was fine because they were my days off anyway. Increased my progesterone, my crinone suppositories to 3 times a day, thinking that might help. Just sort of calm down the bleeding. As soon as I went home and laid down, I started getting really bad cramps. Not painful, just like electric kind of pains that were shooting across my uterus, just sort of like lightning bolts. And I just thought, oh well, maybe this is just baby, you know, making their home and just securing themselves, and maybe the blood was just the embryo moving around or something. I don't know. Maybe this is just all completely normal and I'm just relax, it's fine. But the cramping didn't ease up. By this time, the bleeding had stopped. It was only that one initial gush and then just the dried up blood afterwards. A little bit of clotting that had come out from the blood drying up after we'd done the ultrasound, and that was it. No more blood at all. I thought I was out of the woods. I thought it was fine. I thought everything was normal. Even with the cramping, no bleeding. No bleeding whatsoever. No spotting, no nothing. Just the cramps, just the electric lightning bolt cramps. They happened all night, all day on Tuesday. Continued to lay in bed on bed rest because I just thought, okay, this is just my body. I'm just going to deal with it. I started feeling better Tuesday night. I started feeling really good. And so I got up, sat on the lounge and watched some TV. Watched 2 movies. Halfway through The Greatest Showman, I started bleeding again. And I went to the toilet and there it was, blood. And then as soon as that initial blood started, the cramps intensified tenfold. They were contractions, as far as I'm concerned. They were contractions getting rid of my baby. I laid in bed from about 10:30 till 1 o'clock in the morning. Intense cramps, intense pain. Running to the toilet every couple of minutes because I was bleeding. Just pads, and I had like really light panty liners because I hate pads with a passion. I was in nappies as a child. I don't want to be in nappies now as an adult. You know, I had the lightest, thinnest pads, so I was running to the toilet every couple of minutes to go to the toilet. The bleeding never eased up. I was literally wiping myself, both hands covered, completely covered in blood. Like, I literally had the sink beside me with running water, and I was cleaning myself sitting on the toilet because, you know, if I didn't, I'd be in the shower all night, just showering to get rid of the grossness that was there. You know, intimate details like that people just don't tell you about. At about midnight, the cramping got so severe and I started passing clots. At about 12:30, there was one huge clot. Like, we're talking maybe this big. The first of many clots this big. This might sound a little bit gross to some people, but I do sit there and dissect the clots a little bit just to see what's in them. I think at this point of doing everything to try and conceive, dissecting clots with some toilet paper is not disgusting. To normal people, yes, it might be disgusting, but you're just curious and you want to know. And sure enough, I pulled it apart and I could see the sac. It was only tiny, but it was a different colour to the rest of the clotting, and I knew what it was. I knew 12:30 midnight on Tuesday night we had passed our baby. And as soon as I'd passed that clot, the cramping halved itself. I was no longer in as much pain. I was still in pain, a lot of pain. My body was still contracting. My body was still in a lot of pain. Nowhere near as much as what I was in. It was so bad that I literally laid in bed holding Josh's hand and just squeezing it every time I got a wave of pain. It was worse than endo pain. I have pretty severe endo pain. It was actually, I'd say it was almost on par with endo pain, but it was a different type of pain. So I don't know if that made it worse or whatever, because it was something I hadn't experienced before. But yeah, I went to bed. Anyway, first thing we did in the morning was ring up the clinic again and organise another scan just to make sure everything was okay. I was 100% sure that I was no longer pregnant. And we went in at 1:45 on Wednesday afternoon, did a scan. He put the ultrasound wand in and was moving it around trying to find it. And straight away I knew he wasn't going to find anything. I just said to him, I said, look, there's no point. Because on Monday he put it in and he didn't even have to put the wand in the whole way. And he had already found our little embryo growing. And he just kept moving it around. And he just looked at the screen and sighed. And that moment just kills me. Just to rethink that moment. It just kills me. Because I can just remember sitting in that chair and just crying so hard. And you know there's nothing anyone can do to help. There is nothing anyone can do to help. And it's just the most horrible, horrible thing. No one should ever have to go through that. No one. It's just so hard. So anyway, came out of the scan after a little bit of tears and holding my husband and just crying, even though we already knew that I had miscarried. Just the confirmation that we had miscarried, just the confirmation of it was hard to hear. So I was a mess. I just don't know where my mind was at that stage. I can't remember anything. But then I can remember it in great detail as well. So this time we got a different piece of paper. Not as formal as the first piece of paper. Just letting us know basically the time frame of everything. So for 2 weeks, it takes 2 weeks basically for the pregnancy hormones to come out of your system. 2 weeks. That's today. 2 weeks today. Hopefully the hormones are out of my body. It then takes another 2 weeks for a follicle to grow, 2 to 3 weeks. At that stage, we can try naturally to conceive. I don't know if I want to be honest. I don't know if I want to go down that route. The idea of ovulation testing, temperature monitoring, having sex, organising times to have sex. I'm just still so broken. Don't know if I'm ready for that. Trying to conceive naturally really does generate a lot of anxiety within me, because we tried for 3 years, basically 2.5 years, trying to conceive naturally with Clomid, with letrozole, with everything. Nothing worked. Yes, you are more fertile the month after miscarriage. I just don't want to see another negative pregnancy test. I've gotten used to positives now. I don't want to go through that anxiety all over again, considering I don't even know when I properly ovulate, if I ovulate at all. From what I know, I ovulate late. Who knows when I'm going to ovulate, which means more money on ovulation tests. My husband thinks it's just as easy as, right, okay, it's been another 2 weeks since, it's been 4 weeks since the miscarriage, let's just have sex. It's not that easy. It's easy for him. It's not easy for me. There is a lot of planning that I have to do in order to do that. Others may say, well, just have sex every day or every second day. Been there, done that, doesn't work. Just so much anxiety towards trying to conceive naturally now. All I want to do is get the next 6 weeks out the road, have my period, and try again. So yeah, another 2 to 3 weeks for a follicle to form, and then 2 weeks after that we should get our period. So they say about 6 to 8 weeks it will take for my body to repair itself and get back on track. I am hoping that it is just 6 weeks. I'm going to be doing everything I can to ensure that it is 6 weeks. I'm going to be doing massages and Reiki healing therapies next week. I'm so excited for that. I'm going to start again on acupuncture because I really do believe the increased blood flow does help with my periods. Being on time. That is the goal. That is the aim. That is what I'm hoping to do. But yeah, and the rest of the sheet is just talking about anxiety, depression, grief. He doesn't believe I need a D&C because there was nothing there and everything looked perfectly fine. He also doesn't think that I need a laparoscopy because I have fallen pregnant twice in the last 2 months. I just need to figure out a way to keep these babies in there. Our specialist has been amazing. Glenn Sterling at Life Fertility Clinic is just amazing, beyond amazing. He is quite a character. He is so sarcastic and so funny, always joking, but when something like this happens, he is the most compassionate, most caring, most understanding person in the world. Like, I know he goes through this every single day. It does wear on people and they do lose that sensitivity. He's been doing it for years and it just felt so genuine and so comforting to have that support there. I'm just so relieved that I have this amazing team of people working for me to try and get me to where I need to be. So after our appointment, we basically left straight away. We didn't need to see the receptionist or anything like that. He said, just go home. So we went downstairs and told our acupuncturist, Andrew, that we had in fact miscarried, and basically said we're taking a break for a couple of weeks just because we need to. I needed to. At that point in time, I couldn't possibly think of ever doing another cycle again. I was just distraught and had lost complete faith in the whole system. I went home, still bleeding a heap. This went on for 4 days. The pain continued. It got worse. I just kept bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. Every time I'd go to the toilet, every 10 minutes, I'd go down and wipe. My hands would be covered in blood. There would be clots coming out like this big, like huge clots. I have never experienced clots like that in my life. Huge clots, huge pain, huge amount of blood. So much pain. So much pain. I'm a huge believer in not taking pain relief medications. I believe that you strengthen the body by enduring pain, which is why usually during my endo cycles when I have a period, I used to take a lot of pain relief medication, but over the years I've grown used to the pain and I really do try to struggle through with as minimal pain relief as possible. My pain tolerance is really high as it is. My endo pain on a monthly basis can, on a scale of 1 to 10, be at an 11. Insanely painful. I've survived months and months and months of gallbladder pain, to the point where my gallbladder had to be removed. I had gallstones stuck in some other tracts of my body that had to be removed. I took 6 surgeries for that, and I had just intense gallbladder, gallstone pain. So I push through it. I deal with pain. It's not something that I try and hide from. After 5 days of intense cramping and bleeding and dealing with the loss of our future child, I decided to take just some Nurofen, just, normal paracetamol, and the pain went away instantly. And I was like, why did I put myself through all of that pain when I could have just been taking pain relief and feeling fine? I don't know if it's because I wanted to make it feel like it was real, and if I had taken something to get rid of the pain, it was not there, it wasn't happening. I didn't want to hide from the fact that this was happening to me and that I was going through this. I spent a lot of time in bed, a lot of time just watching TV and snuggling the cats and going to the toilet and having showers, and I've never felt so dirty in my entire life. It was just disgusting. Revolting. Natural miscarriages are not fun. But along came the weekend and the bleeding started to subside. It reduced to spotting. The cramping was not as frequent. By Monday, the spotting had come down completely, and I was just getting, like, when I was wiping, it was there. By the Tuesday, I was just having brown blood coming out, which was good. It meant everything was healing up. The occasional red blood coming through. Cramping was gone by that stage. By Wednesday, it had stopped pretty much. It was just like maybe once or twice a day I was wiping and getting brown blood. And Thursday I went back to work. So I had a week and a half off, and it only took a week of bleeding pretty much, and everything had cleaned itself out. I'm pretty sure that everything had removed itself from my body. Just from the ultrasound on the Wednesday before, there was nothing there. It was just thick uterine lining. I have a feeling that all of that is gone with the amount of clotting that I had. I just know that it's gone. This week on Monday, Tuesday, so like almost 2 weeks, I started getting pains in my boobs, and I started getting hip pain and just feeling like I was pregnant again. So I don't know if that was just the final release of hormones out of my body. I don't know. But I feel fine now. I just feel really tired, really lethargic, and I think that is just because today is 2 weeks from our miscarriage, and I just don't know how to feel about that. Life has gotten a lot easier. I don't think about it near as much as I used to. But I'm always going to think about it. Always going to think about it. It may have only been 5 weeks, 4 days pregnant, but we were pregnant. We had strong blood test results. We had an ultrasound that showed a baby was there. The world is cruel, people. The world is cruel. I think I've said it here in the past. I don't follow an organised religion. I'm a pessimist at heart. Whatever is controlling this world is not very nice. And the only thing we can do is find a way to push through and find a way to grow stronger from these experiences. It's only now, 2 weeks later, that I'm so ready to get back on the frozen embryo transfer wagon and do another round of another transfer cycle. I just want to keep going. I've had a slight taste of success. I want to taste it again. Like I've been saying the last 2 weeks, this IVF frozen embryo transfer train is like a drug. You spend so much money on it. You don't care how much it costs. You will just pay whatever it takes to get this euphoric, amazing feeling, even if it is just for a week, even if it's just for a day, even if you're heartbroken and shattered and totally destroyed at the end of it. There is always something pulling you back and making you spend more money again just to have another chance at trying to feel that euphoria, that complete excitement of the possibility of, this dream that you've wanted for so long. That's all I've got. This whole fertility thing is just addictive. And for that reason alone, I don't want to do it anymore. For that reason, I don't want to be a victim of infertility. I don't want to pay all this money for just a short chance of possibly. More than anything, I am ready to jump back in and do this. This is where my mind is at. This is what we go through on the daily. This is why I am tired. This is why I am stressed. This is why my hair looks like a mess. This is why it is yellow and not bright pink. This is why I have spots on my face with no makeup on. This is why my fingernails are so long and then break because I have no more pregnancy hormones in my body. This is miscarriage. This is the mental side of it. The physical side you can get through. The mental side is the tough part. It really is. But that is all I've got, guys. I'm going to end it there. That is my miscarriage story up to now. We got 4 more weeks, at least 4 more weeks until we can try again. I'm hoping my period comes as soon as possible so we can try again. I want a baby so badly. But that's it, guys. I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you're enjoying this new vlogging video YouTube channel situation. I am enjoying my new home. And don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up or leave me a comment down below if you've had a miscarriage before. If you know, what have you been through? What have you experienced? I would love to hear your miscarriage stories. If you want to tell them, that is. I find comfort in exposing myself to people and letting out what's up in here. Some of you might not. I hope this video brings you comfort. I hope this video brings you support and strength in knowing that you're not alone, because you really do feel alone in all of this. You really do play the why me card in all of this. So I hope that this video serves a purpose to somebody out there. And all of you that are going through miscarriages or go through miscarriages in the future, I just want to give you the biggest hug, honestly, because it is just, you can't explain it. It's just unreal. But yeah, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to be doing my next frozen embryo transfer on this channel right here for you guys to watch. Comment, subscribe, thumbs up, all the goodies. And I'll see you all very shortly with another video. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.